Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know the vibes, man. Listen, man, before we get into the meat and potatoes, as always, I got to let you guys know that the Hertz hats are available. Hertz hats are still jumping out of the gym, man. I think, listen, man, the Hertz hat situation and the movement, it's a movement. It literally turned into a movement overnight, and I gotta thank y'all for that, man. I gotta thank y'all, and I gotta thank the print champs, man, for bringing the vision to life, man, and just putting more hats on people's heads. That I don't know. I find me somebody else that's doing it bigger than us, man. And I'm talking about you and us and you guys, man. We just taking this thing by the horns and we just moving it, man. So shout out to y'all, man. Go get your Hertz season hat today via the print champs. I'm gonna put the link to the description right there as well. And also shout out to you guys for just being amazing and first time buyers of Manscaped, and even guys that are who already been on the Manscaped train like myself, going out there and grabbing you something with the use code Brunson. Get 20% off, man. You already know the vibes, man. Free shipping, and the free shipping, I fought for that for y'all. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. Listen, Giants fans, like, finally, Daddy is spending time with me. I mean, that's how they acting. But let's get into the meat and potatoes, though, man. Listen, Thursday, this coming Thursday, I'm going to do an NFC East roundtable on my channel. It's going to be live, 5:30 p.m. Law Nation, Bad Dog, Louis T, you know what I'm saying, and myself. We're going to talk about the NFC East. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about expectations, and the schedule would have just been released at that time as well. You know what I mean? So the day after the schedule releases, we're going to go live, and we're going to talk about all of these things, man. Shout out to my guys for coming through, man, and holding it down, man. You know, it's always a pleasure working with those guys, man. So listen, man. Could the Eagles really be looking at having a dominant front seven? Nobody's really talking about our front seven. A lot of the talk has been swirling around Devontae Adams, Jalen Hurts, and what can Jalen Hurts bring to the team? Who's talking about our front seven? I feel like we're just obligated at this point to talk about it. Who's talking about the front seven right now? I think our front seven is very underrated. Let's talk about it real quick. So projected starters right now in my mind would be Derek Barnett, next to Derek Barnett, Hargrave. Next to Hargrave, Cox. And on the other side of Cox, we're going to go with Brandon Graham. So we all can say that that's a safe bet for what we would like the starting defensive line to look like. It's a safe bet. It gets tricky when you talk about linebacker, though. So for linebacker, it could be Avery Gennard, realistically. It could be TJ Edwards in the middle and Alex Singleton on the other side. I would change around the linebacking core if you want this thing to be a dominant front seven. I think you got to look at probably not having Avery Gennard there, probably putting Eric Wilson there. I think that makes more sense since Eric Wilson has that experience on the outside, and Eric Wilson probably had the best linebacking career out of anybody on our team right now at the linebacker position, inside or outside. So I would put Eric Wilson right there where Avery Gennard is. I would stay with TJ Edwards in the middle, and I would run with Alex Singleton as well. We got some other guys who can be rotational as well. And I think that, it's imperative that Sean Bradley and Davion Taylor show this new coaching staff something. I believe in these guys. I think these guys just need a chance to play. Everybody needs a chance to play. You can't say that my car will be fast if you don't give it the gas to go. Everybody needs a chance to play. So I think that, this could be a really, really strong front seven. I'm anxious to see, though, how the defensive captains and the defensive coordinators and the defensive minds on our football team are going to be able to use this front seven. It's real interesting. And defensive line is deep. We're deep right now, as it is right now. So we talked about Barnett, Hargrave, Cox, and BG. Let's talk about the second and third string guys. Oatsman, we just drafted Milton Williams. You know what I'm saying? Ridgeway, Sweat. So that's projected to be the second string guys. Joe Oatsman, Milton Williams, Ridgeway, and Sweat. Now you got some third string guys as well. Bailey Jaquan, I think he was from the Canadian Football League. T.Y. McGill, Tupoloto from USC, we just drafted him. And Teron Jackson, we just drafted him as well. So listen, man, it's really, really deep. And it's going to be a lot of guys, some key positions to look out for that can be fought for probably next year. You can start putting a bug in the coach's ear next year about you getting these positions. Barnett's position will be up for grabs. I don't think Barnett will be here after this season. You know what I'm saying? We decided to, I think we picked up his 5th-year option or something like that. We franchise tag. I can't remember what the situation was with Barnett, but Derek Barnett is looking at, a big payday for 1 year, then he's going to hit the free agent market. So that opens up a window, in my opinion, for Sweat. Sweat had an identical season to Derek Barnett. I think the only reason why Derek Barnett, in my opinion, is projected to get that starting time is because Derek Barnett was a higher draft pick. And I absolutely hate that. I think Sweat might got a little more in the tank. Sweat might be better than Derek Barnett. A lot of people don't want to, probably don't want to own that because of where these guys were selected. But Sweat showed the identical game as Derek Barnett last year while being a rotational guy. You know what I mean? That's something you gotta sink your claws into. Sweat could be next up out of there. I'm expecting more out of Javon Hargrave this season. I'm expecting more out of Javon Hargrave. We didn't get what we paid for last season. He was injured. We got to acknowledge that, of course. Injuries are a part of the game, but we just overall didn't get what we paid for when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. When you got Fletcher Cox in the middle commanding the double team, you expect that other D tackle lined up next to Cox to be able to win his one-on-one matchups at will. At will. You know what I'm saying? It seems like the only person that can consistently win a one-on-one matchup is Brandon Graham. You're not going to hold Brandon Graham too long. Brandon Graham's going to get around you. You know what I'm saying? At his age, Brandon Graham has shown, that he can beat one-on-one coverage. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Graham can get low. He can turn his hips. Brandon Graham could do a lot. Brandon Graham's a Pro Bowler. You know what I mean? Brandon Graham's an excellent pass rusher. But if Javon Hargrave can't really do what we expect him to do, expect Milton Williams to get some more of that playing time. Now, Milton Williams, after thinking about the draft and going over it again and again and again in my mind, Milton Williams is probably the only true reach. The only true reach at the third round. Milton Williams, you know what I mean? It is what it is, though. We picked Milton Williams, I guess, based upon, Milton Williams is a good kid. I like some of the things that I see on tape. But the main thing that they're saying about Milton Williams is that, his measurables, his athleticism. You know what I'm saying? How well did he apply that to the game? How well did he apply those things to the game? And there's no knock on Milton Williams, but Milton Williams came from La Tech, and you kind of expect Milton Williams to be dominant out there. And I looked over the film again, and it just wasn't the case all the time with Milton Williams. Milton Williams probably would have been there. He probably would have been there in the 5th round. Just wasn't the case, but hopefully somebody can consistently stand next to Fletcher Cox and take him getting double teamed and use it to their advantage. You know what I mean? This is how you make your money in the NFL. If Fletcher Cox is consistently getting double teamed and you could beat one-on-one matchups, you're going to get paid and go play somewhere. You probably won't be good at, you might not be good nowhere else you go, but take advantage of being next to Fletcher Cox because you cannot guarantee being next to a Fletcher Cox everywhere you go. You just can't guarantee it. And Fletcher Cox has took the brunt of this beating from our fan base for a very long time for some reason because you don't see Fletcher Cox numbers explode. Well, Fletcher Cox commands a double team, but Aaron Donald was probably the only one that's going to consistently beat double teams. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win for a lot of coaches. It's just the way that they designed it. I would run a lot of blitzes through the gaps that Fletcher Cox, occupies on the left or the right side of Fletcher Cox. I would run a lot of linebackers through there. You know what I mean? Because our defensive tackles aren't winning one-on-one, matchups, so it is what it is. But all in all, man, I believe that this could be a really dangerous defensive front. It's all about how we decide to mix and match these players. So honestly, I would go with Barnett, Hargrave, Cox, and BG. That's how I would start it. But like I said, I would tweak my linebackers from this projected starting list for the linebackers has Avery Gennard, TJ Edwards, and Alex Singleton. I definitely will remove Avery Gennard and put in Eric Wilson. He's a day one starter. I would leave TJ Edwards and I would leave Singleton for right now to see how that pans out. But I believe that Bradley could beat TJ Edwards out for that job. Bradley's a solid cover guy. Bradley's just solid. And Davion Teller, he has to come to play. He has to come and play this season, man. But let me know what y'all think, man, about how dominant this front seven could be. And make sure y'all tune in on Thursday, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. NFC East roundtable. Me, Bad Dog, Louis T, Law Nation. It's going to be a movie, man. Bring your popcorn. You know the vibes.